Can I get the green light from our technicians here? Thomas, are we good to go?
Yep, we good.
Okay, awesome. Okay, awesome. So, well, thank you everyone for joining this morning. My name is Jean-Georges Perrin, and I'm going to be your MC this morning. I have nothing interesting to say, but we've got a really great roundup of guests today. I hope you can see my screen. Yeah, okay, thank you. I love feedback. So this is our party for celebrating La French Tech. Okay, so just as a really super quick summary before someone else takes over, this is a French Tech. Okay, so this is an image of Paris I really like, and I'm not from Paris. Okay, like about 2/3 of French people. I like this image because it shows the Louvre, the famous museum, the Louvre, with the very modern pyramid from Pei in front of it. So it symbolized for me, it's a very strong image of France where you've got all these traditions, which are sometimes a little bit heavy, but you also have this very modern technology, this very modern way of thinking, this very social way and very progressive way of thinking. So I am really, based on that, I'm really really excited to let my partner in crime, Claire Juliette, go on from there.
So Claire Juliette,
thank you, Jean-Georges, so much. I'm trying to be not too much of a criminal. So, first, thank you so much for everybody who's taking a little bit of time to join us today. It's really an extraordinary time that we live in. But in a way, it's really perfect for people who are in startups, in entrepreneurships, in technology. We are used to going through ups and downs, and overall, I think we can look to a future that will be different, but that will be quite fascinating. So, very quickly, why is there a French Tech in Raleigh and the Research Triangle? And you'll be able to see this later, this PowerPoint, this slide, so I'll just go quickly through it. There's really two sides of this and two ways of looking at it. There's one side of looking at it, which is kind of from the French side, the French perspective, and the other one is from the Research Triangle, the North Carolina perspective, which is, on the right-hand side versus the left-hand side. But at the end of the day, it's really about win-win scenarios and creating opportunities for entrepreneurs, tech companies on either side of the Atlantic pond. One of the things we all see and know is that the RTP area is really a hidden gem. And there's a lot more venture capital money coming here than used to be 5 years, even 10 years ago. So this is a great opportunity for startups, entrepreneurs here in the area. But as well, possibly for a lot of entrepreneurs based in France who frankly don't know about North Carolina, and they've never heard of it. So they will know New York City, they will know Boston, of course, they will know San Francisco. So part of the why of this team and this organization is really to help with spreading that message. On the other side, there's also, the view that France is a lot, well, it's about the wines, it's about the quality of life, it's about a lot of culture and so on. But there's really also an incredible amount of education, talent, very, very high level, and also really great opportunities to do business. I've been here in the US for over 20 years, and having worked with startup big companies, And one of the things I've found out is very often companies in the US, including startups, they want to go to Europe, but very often they will end up going to England. Frankly, it's easier. Everybody speaks English, and it's just, you know, very often it's lack of awareness, lack of knowledge of opportunities. So there's a lot of activities going on, and some of my colleagues may cover that more in depth, but where companies are now going and visiting and discovering a lot of opportunities in France that they were not aware of. So beyond that, there's really the opportunity to exchange on tech practices, you know, to leverage on the talents on both sides. So I think that's really covers it in a nutshell. What I would just mention before passing over to my colleague is that one of the things we can really look forward to, I think, on both sides of the Atlantic and on both sides is diversity, which is, you know, it's an important topic. I know here in the French Tech in Raleigh, we have been collaborating, and I think my colleague Thomas in particular, with the American Underground organization in Durham. So we look forward to having a lot more, you know, diversity, and we really work with any kinds of startups. We welcome them as part of our organization. So that's it in a nutshell. If you have questions, please bring them in the chat. I can answer them later. And you can also, of course, always reach out to us on LinkedIn. Thank you.
So what is interesting to know about the French Tech, it's not like it's just us here in Raleigh that is doing, oh, we're going to do a French Tech and we're going to gather a few French people with a few Francophile people. The French Tech is a government-issued program in France, like a lot of things are government-issued in France. But it also creates this very strong ecosystem within France where there is constantly developing hubs, and now they have also expanded this to the rest of the world. So we are now more than 122 French Tech, and this is our team. This is our team here for this hub. So what you'll find interesting in our team is that, based on the current situation, based on the areas of life, we have a team in Raleigh, with a president in Raleigh who is going to talk right now. And we also have a team in France with a president in France. And this is one unit, one team, one hub to help you learn more and foster your mingling. So, and I think this is going to be now David to talk about a little bit about that. David, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Jean-Georges. I will, on the team, I will add one more thing is, yeah, we got for sure quite some smart people here. I would say good looking too, but smart also. But if you are interested in joining and helping, we're going to be welcoming ideas, thoughts, and if you want to help and be part of that group, just reach out, and I'm sure we can find something for you to do to help. Yes, we Claire Juliette earlier said that she was talking about the why, you know, we are the French Tech in Raleigh, but I mean, if you look at those numbers here, we already here. I mean, there's some big number, 139 billion of revenue between the US and France, and the North Carolina, you know, it's you know, touching 3.5. It's not a bad number. So the French Tech it's here, and we're lucky because we can be part of that ecosystem and help hopefully make some connection between people, companies, entrepreneurs, and anyone who wants to be involved in that ecosystem. And actually, if you go to the second slide, slide 7, the next one. So yeah, that's the that's the ecosystem between the France and the US. And
Sorry, David, I don't see the slides. I don't know if other people,
Oh,
or it's just me or something.
I saw them.
I'm seeing them.
I can see them.
I can't see them.
You should be seeing a map of the triangle, which is not a triangle on the map.
Are you seeing me talking, or are you seeing something else?
Yeah, I think it's just my setup of Zoom is acting weird. I'm just gonna log out and come back in.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right. No, it's recorded anyway, so you can if you missed a couple of minutes, you can see them later, and we're just gonna.
Alexandra,
Yes,
enable
that's-
side-by-side mode, view options at the top, side-by-side.
Okay, cool, thanks.
All right. So yes, it's there is quite a few company here, and I've been here for over 7 years, and before I joined the French Tech, I only heard about Biomérieux, and I wasn't aware of all the other companies. So we're pretty lucky, and then I can't wait to meet more people from all those different companies, and yes, and make some connection and help people in any ways people need help with. So yeah, that's I guess I'm going to pass that to you, Jean-Georges, for a good raison d'être in RTP here.
Yeah, so what I would like to emphasize is before giving the word to more of our friends here, is I'd like to teach you a word of French. I know there's a lot of French people on this call, but for the people not speaking French, I'd like to teach you this word. It's a trait d'union. So when you translate it in English, it's really a hyphen, okay? But the thing when you think about the etymology of it in France, it's really about joining, okay, about creating a union. So that's why it's trait d'union. And actually, I lied. I didn't teach you one word of French, but 2 words. So you know trait d'union, and you also know platform. Okay, that's a pretty easy translation, I guess, because this is what the French Tech is. It's a platform for you to be able to use it, to relay your information, to gather, to really grow yourself. And this is how we see things, okay? Our raison d'être. You're bringing your experience. We are bringing all this thing. It's a network of people. It's a network of richness that we are going to use to mutually grow together. Sorry. Of course, we're not alone, and we will see later a lot of the people that actually helped us and contributed to that. But this is the close partners we have. We are really thankful for the Chamber of Commerce, whether it's a French Chamber of Commerce and each city's Chamber of Commerce, and also you'll hear more about the Research Triangle and what they see there. And of course, as we are French, we cannot do anything without our government. So we are also really thankful to our embassy. The ambassador came us and greeted us and welcomed our initiative, as well as Business France, which is really a very interesting organization if you want to do business in France, or if you're a French company wanting to do business elsewhere. So so now I am going to invite Ryan Combs and Derek Chen to talk about RTRP and why there see a value there for us. So Derek or Ryan, the floor is yours.
Sure, I'll start and then I'll turn it over to Derek. So most of you by now, I think, know me and the Research Triangle Regional Partnership, but just in case you don't, we're a 11 county regional economic development organization. And our mission really is to build awareness about, not only our region, but about North Carolina to the rest of the world. And, we figured out early on, we really had a lot of work to do on building our brand internationally. I mean, when people can't tell you where North Carolina is on a map, you're in trouble. So because of our great relationship with Mary Claire and the French American Chamber, we decided early on to really focus our efforts on connecting with France and doing that more than just going over to a trade show, but really trying to learn and understand the ecosystem of France. And we've been there 3 times in the last 6 months. You know, we started out in Paris, and I think I've told this story before, but you know, what resonated with me was going to Paris and just kind of feeling like you're one of a million people, and then going down to Lyon and feeling like you're part of their ecosystem, and you felt so welcome, and it really clicked with me that that you need to find places that are similar to your own, and so for us, the Lyon, Grenoble, and the Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes region was really where we thought we could really build some strong connections. And so we've been there 3 times in the last 6 months. We've done some great things. We were invited in January to go to the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas as a guest of Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes Enterprises. We got to speak to companies there. They ended up coming here right after CES. We recently did a webinar with companies from Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes. And so those are, and we're looking forward to hosting them here in the fall if COVID allows that to happen. But we also were working on, and I see Kathleen Henry on the call, we're working on an international soft landing program right now that we think would be super beneficial for tech startups. And we obviously, La French Tech will fit right in there along with NC State and HQ Raleigh and Innovate Raleigh. We think we're going to build a really strong program that'll be right here in Raleigh. Also, I see some folks from Schema. We just had a call earlier this week. We know we're going to tie Schema in with all of that as well. We're building a partnership with French Tech Alps. We're looking to try to coordinate programs between us, our international soft landing program, and their international startup program. And so, really, for us, our French Tech is just yet another, along with the French American Chamber. And Schema is just another asset, another connection, and another attraction for us to attract French companies to the Triangle region. And so we were really excited. I think, Thomas and I were talking, I wanted to remind everybody, we were, one of the things when we were in Lyon and we met with French Tech over there, and they showed us the map of French Tech, and you didn't see Raleigh on the map. You saw Boston and New York and Austin and I think Seattle. We knew we had some work cut out, and y'all have been fantastic. I think the first meeting was in November, and look where we are now. So congratulations to everybody to make this a reality, and I look forward to working with you. But I'm going to call on Derek Chen, who's a board member of the RTRP. But Derek was a senior member of the North Carolina Department of Commerce for years and oversaw their international efforts. And I think he can talk a little bit more about how French Tech is certainly going to help us here in the Triangle.
Sure, it's my pleasure, and thank you, Ryan. I mean, Ryan always does such a great job introing, but I think what he spoke to was these networks and these contacts, and as you all know in economic development, it's all about contacts, it's all about networks. A lot of it is who you know, and I've seen that time and time again in my own career where, I might have a company in North Carolina needing a service, and they're going to Boston or they're going to California for that service. And I'm like, hey, you've got a company right here that's world renowned in your backyard. And so I think that's happened to all of us. So I'll tell you all a little of a personal story here, kind of how I got involved with it and kind of what I've seen from an economic development perspective. So I had a meeting with Thomas and Alexandra at Bar Taco in Raleigh in the fall. And they were telling me about La French Tech. And I didn't quite get it. I wasn't sure exactly what they were talking about, but they were so charming and they were so, persuasive and so génial, and sympa, as we say. And maybe it's because I've spent some time in France and lived and gone to school there that they picked on me, but they said, hey, we want you to be part of our group. And so how could I say no? So I said, of course, I'm happy to do it. Wasn't really sure exactly what I was getting into at that point in time. But they literally put together a star cast of board members, and everybody worked so hard and so diligently and really just, volunteered their time. I mean, it was, and their efforts. And my dad, who's from Jamaica, likes to say, if you pay peanuts, you get monkeys to do the work. Well, these guys were paid nothing, and they got, you know, the A-list, the A team. So very shortly thereafter, they were able to get the French government's approval on this. And what it meant, I think what it means to me from a trade and investment perspective is that we now have a seat at the table. So when you look at the United States of America and you look at the other La French Tech organizations in the United States, there are only 8. Okay, so we are one of those 8. And yeah, you've got the usual suspects like, you know, LA and San Fran and Austin and Boston. But when you look at the East Coast and you look at the Eastern Seaboard, there's only one in the middle of the Eastern Seaboard, and that is us. So what does that mean? When there's, I think, 38 of these organizations, La French Techs in France. And so let's say one of those companies is looking to collaborate with the company in the United States or to expand their operations. Well, they're going to look at that map and they want to be on the Eastern Seaboard. They're going to be here. The next closest would be Boston or Florida. So it's a fantastic marketing reach for us. But then if you expand that even further, you've got 48 others around the world. So you've got Hong Kong and you've got, you know, South America, you've got Canada. So when we start to think about what that means in terms of our geographic reach and scope from, again, an investment perspective, it's tremendous. And then if you look at it even from a trade perspective, so now we're part of, by extension, we're a part of all of those groups. So if I've got a technology company in France, I mean, in the RTP area, or a startup, and I need something else from one of those other technology companies, I have that relationship already established. So for all those reasons, I'm thrilled about it. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for us going forward. The only other thing I would say, the icing on the cake here, is that we have Thomas. Thomas has been working with us at the RTRP, and although we're sad to see him leave to go across the pond, he is going over in September back to France. And the best part about this now is that he knows this region so well. He knows economic development, and he's going to be advocating for us over there. So we're going to have a man on the ground in the region, and we're thrilled for that as well. So anyhow, please join us, be part of what we're doing. It's exciting, and I'd love to have your participation on it.
Well, thank you very much, Ryan. Thank you very much, Derek. I'd like to segue to Marie-Claire, because Marie-Claire is actually my favorite consul, and she's also a very active member of the French-American Chamber of Commerce. So really, Marie-Claire, the floor is yours, please.
Hi, thank you, Jean-Georges, and thank you, everybody. And I don't know if I can say things as well as Derek. I think Derek and Ryan, you put it, and all of you put it so well. But I'll try to add a few things. And first of all, bonjour, and good afternoon and good morning to everybody, since we have some people from across the pond. So I'm the director of the executive director of the French-American Chamber of Commerce, and we are really excited to celebrate the opening of La French Tech in Raleigh and the Triangle, and to see so many of you join us from around the world. First, I want to thank this magnificent team of visionaries and entrepreneurs who pushed for this to happen. Alexandra, of course, with whom the idea was born, and Thomas, who worked hard with her to make it happen. And I'm not a little proud to say that both of them are actually members of my team. So that's really exciting for the chamber. And so they were able to federate a magnificent team of people to join them. And I think I would like to name all of them. Stephanie Rousseau-Play, Jean-Georges Perrin was talking, Claire-Juliette Biel, Olivia Garsala, David Lavielle, Guillaume Kozinski, Jean-Marc Rollin, Séverin Logneau, Frédéric Bost, I mean, and Derek Chen. And I see that apparently Amaury Jacob joined your team recently. So you are an amazing team, and it's so exciting to see you all there. So you were able to mobilize not only the French entrepreneurs and the techies here, but also the economic development agencies, and a great thank you to Ryan Combs and Derek Chen from RTRP for jumping on board and facilitating everything, but also to all the local companies and stakeholders who were able to give your support, and special thank you, of course, to Roxanne and Jeremy at the embassy, because the embassy was behind all of you, and that was a tremendous help, I think. So this happened extremely quickly, and it is still, and you're going to be a tremendous asset for the region. So my team at the French American Chamber of Commerce, Ryan, RTRP, Colin at EDPNC, Kathleen at Wake County, the German Chamber of Commerce, all these agencies have been working hard in the past 2 years to put France back on the map. And I think thanks to the French Tech, we're crystallizing this effort. And now we have all these synergies that are going to work together to make and to attract talent to the region. I think it will help to the community of French entrepreneurs and investors to grow in the triangle. Help identify the local resources to attract investment and greenfield project, including some outsiders that maybe some people will not think about, like Schema Business School. I mean, there's a tremendous asset with Schema Business School being around here with, and I just learned that Schema was actually voted third in the world for their finance program by the Financial Times. So this is another asset that we have here. So all this will make us very visible, help attract talent, federate talent in the tech industry. And as we have seen in other cities in USA, like Houston and Miami, where the French American Chamber of Commerce work hand in hand with the French Tech, we are also working with our French Tech to make this happen. Our interests are linked. We have the same goals of helping our regions develop with a focus on French success and growth, and the growth of our French community. So we are all federated to join this mission to market the triangle to the outside world. So thank you to this team effort that is so representative of what is happening now in the region. Please look out for the new brochure that the teams from all these organizations has put together, where we can see how all these organizations work together. And that's a great brochure. That's a team effort that everyone put together. And so I raise my glass. I don't know if you can see it. I raise my glass of champagne to this beautiful success. Congratulations to everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marie-Claire. Thank you. That was really kind words. So what are we planning? We had a planning. We had already an event in February, which was a very successful event, very fun, very entertaining, very energetic. And then we had COVID coming in and ruined the whole party. But we are resilient. So we're still working on our new program, on our enhanced program. And this is basically the 4 steps, the 4 pillars of where we are going to work on. This is great to have that plan, kind of driven. Another thing we're working on is more like this more active schedule here, where, as you can see, we had this innovation in tech in February. We had my book launch, not in April, and it was kind of virtual. And we also contributed to the civic hacking camp at Open Pass. And we are scheduling an event. Marie-Claire, we still have to figure out the final date. I put July 7th, but it might just be another date. But very shortly, we're going to make an event about data to AI, and that's going to be under the umbrella of La French Tech, the French Chamber of Commerce, and we will. Our MC will be Amory from Schema, because they are really doing a lot of things in AI, and the speaker will be, unfortunately for you guys, me. But anyway, so that's a bit of our schedule, but we also have great other guests. Okay, I don't want to kind of really talk there. So we are really honored to have Eric from the French Tech of the Alps. So it's really, there's a lot of things about the east side of France, right? We talked about Rhône, the Rhône Valley, Lyon, Grenoble, but the best part about the east of France is Strasbourg and Alsace. Okay, but I'll let you discover that by yourself when you go there next time, if we can ever go back to France. So Eric, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jean-Georges. I was born in Alsace, actually. So
great.
but born in Mulhouse. So of course, you're right. It's a great place. Hi everyone. So my name is Eric Pial. I'm the president of French Tech in the Alps. So it's one of the French Tech capitals that we have in France. There are 13 of them. The 13 biggest cities of France somehow that are labeled as French Tech capitals, and I guess my role here is first to say welcome, welcome to the family. We are glad to have you on board. In the Alps, in Grenoble, we have been labeled French Tech for 5 years now, something like that, I guess. At the very first round of labelization, where they did launch the French Tech initiative. And since the very beginning, it was very clear that the strength of the French Tech would be the network. And the strength of a network is two things: how many dots you have. So of course, it's great to have one more community with you guys from the research triangle. And the second dimension is the strength of the links between the dots. And links is about trust, is about willingness to do things together. And I think it has been greatly demonstrated in the process you have been through by creating connections already with many French Tech communities around the world and in France. So I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be a great success for you to be part of the French Tech family. And again, welcome. I have a couple of interesting facts to share with you. That will illustrate the proximity and the great relationship we can have together. First one, it's a personal fact, not being from Alsace, but another one. So beyond being president of French Tech in the Alps, I'm also the general manager of a small software company in industrial automation called eTwist Automation. And actually, I have been acquired recently, January 2019, by a company based in North Carolina. Who can guess? Schneider Electric. So Schneider Electric is a very great example of the relationship we have between North Carolina and Grenoble. There are 6,000 people working for Schneider Electric in Grenoble. It's really one of the main technological hubs of the company around the world. And it has also a strong presence in North Carolina. So I believe that's a good example of the great relationship we have together. You also have some startups coming from the Alps in Raleigh. Good example is Memscape. Memscape was born in Grenoble out of the CEA and the great semiconductor industry we're having here. So that's another great example. Second interesting fact, Claire was saying earlier that in North Carolina, you have been seeing a great increase in VC money coming to startups in the research triangle area, like time 5 or time 10 in the last 5-10 years. Actually, it's the same in France. It's the same in France. The startup industry is booming in France. We are now having 5 times more investment in startups than in 2015 when they launched the French Tech initiative, and we are underdogs somehow in France. If you look at the tech startup world, you would think US, of course. You would think Israel. You would think UK. France has been okay. We were not there. We were doing the academic part, okay, and then giving away the technology to larger companies in the US or elsewhere. So I guess we are pretty similar also on that aspect. And the third fact that is also interesting and something you have to know about the French Tech. French Tech is really a bottom-up initiative. It's probably the government programs, government initiative that is having the best return on investment. And you know why? Because investment is almost zero euro. The government, when they decided to launch French Tech, they said, okay, hey guys, you know what, in your local ecosystems, we're gonna do a beauty contest. Oh yeah, you have to prove that you want to build connections and you want to boost your local ecosystem and etc. Oh yeah, let's do it. What do we win? Nothing. You have bragging rights. you can have the roster and you can say you are a member of the French Tech. And I guess that's actually a very American thing. So French Tech is probably the most American French government program that we're having here in France. So last word about the next steps. Jean-Georges has been already giving some information about that. But one thing we will want to do with you in French Tech in the Alps, we have been building a project called Global Incubator Network. So what does that mean? The goal is to connect local ecosystems. Again, medium-sized ecosystem. We don't want to connect with the Valley. We don't want to connect with Boston. We want to connect with medium-sized ecosystem and foster the relationship, the networking between these ecosystems by having local incubators, exchanging best practices, and having startups from one ecosystem visit the other one, etc. In that network, we first built that network with Taipei, Taiwan, and Vancouver, Canada, and we would be very happy to have you, North Carolina, joining us in that program. And I guess that's something we are going to work together on in the next month, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be successful. So welcome to the family. We already have a lot in common and are looking forward to do more together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric. So we are getting to the end of this event, as it's a typical French event, right? We said 30 minutes and it's already 40 in, but who counts when we love, right? So anyway, here, before we go to Q&A, I'd like to open the floor to some of you who wants to talk about what they see as it's going to be a benefit for them, or what they see they can bring to the table. You've got 30 seconds, so it's going to be super fast. It's kind of this flash chat, whatever. And I'm going to completely randomly ask, Fred, do you have anything to say?
Do you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Okay, good. No, I'm Fred and happy to be here and to speak with all of you. I moved to this area research triangle 18 years ago, straight from France, straight from Lyon. And while it was kind of unexpected and a bit of opportunistic, I never regretted it. I spent all these 18 years in the entrepreneurial ecosystem here, and it's been great thing for me. The pool of talent you're going to find here is amazing. The association and organization are able to help you to promote and facilitate the business, and you've heard many of them today, are extraordinary as well. Such a nice opportunity. So that's why what I'm trying to bring here is that I know this area pretty well. I've got an interesting network. So if you ever are interested in moving to the US, you should definitely put this area on the map and do your homework, because especially in certain industry, and I can think biotech, I can think software and IT, especially if you're a startup, before going to the usual suspect, San Francisco and Boston, you definitely want to do your homework and consider here. And I'd be very happy to help you for that. So don't hesitate to reach out, and I'd be happy to guide you and point you to the right direction.
Thanks, Fred. Next, I've heard that Roxanne wanted to talk to us about the US tour. So Roxanne, tell us what the US tour is. I've got my Airstream in the driveway ready to go on any tour because I'm tired of staying at home anyway. So tell us.
Yes, hello everyone. Just to introduce myself very briefly, I'm very happy to see you all today. So I'm serving as an economic attaché at the French Treasury, the Embassy of France in the US, and I'm based in New York City. And we are working closely with all the French tech in the US, and we support them in their creation, their projects, their partnerships, and the reciprocity between French and US companies. So I'm absolutely fortunate on the success of the French Tech Rally and all the collective work that have been led by Alexandra, Thomas, Marie-Claire, and all the team. And just a few words about the Next 40 US tour. This is a digital project that has been first led by French Tech New York. And as I'm based in New York City, I'm helping the French Tech on this project. But now we have opened this project to all the French Tech in the US. So we are 8 French Tech in the US. And the project is to help Next 40 and French Tech 120 startups that are based in France or already based in the US and want to expand in the US. So the program is adapted to them, and we are meeting speakers, American or international speakers that are experts of the US markets to talk to these startups and help them in their project. So this will be in October 2020, and we are very happy that French Tech Rally will be part of that, with also French Tech San Francisco, Los Angeles, Boston, New York, Austin, and Houston, and Miami, also the new French Tech.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Roxanne.
Jean-Georges, I'm just jumping in to say a special thank you to Roxanne and Jeremy, because they've been helping us tremendously in backstage. And just to say what Derek was saying, Raleigh is at the table. And for me, I'm so thrilled by the Next 40 US tour. For those who don't know, the Next 40 is the top 40 most promising companies in France, which are that's the top 40 that we're waiting the best growth. And the fact that we are on the US tour is just tremendous. So thank you, Roxanne, for your help, and also for us to be part of the US tour is extraordinary. So looking forward to it.
So thank you, Alexandra, because Alexandra is our person in the back doing so much work with Thomas. I'm just lending my pretty face, as said David before, but really I'd like really to thank them so much for doing all they do, because we wouldn't be there without them. But as it's time to thank people, this is a bit of a list of people that helped us reach reach this goal, reach where we are. And what is so amazing with this list is the variety of people. It's larger companies, it's institutional organization, it's labs, it's universities. So it's really, we've managed to create this ecosystem of people there, and that's really great. So has anyone any questions, comments, want to say anything? This is your chance. Please go. And I'm going to remove the slide because Thomas wants to see that we see all our faces there. And I think there's a technical limitation with Zoom, but we are a big group.
So maybe I'd like to jump in.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Yeah. So my name is Rami. I'm a former a member of the Mission French Tech, which is based in Paris, and that organizes the whole network of French Tech. And I'm now, I moved to Atlanta. I'm the new scientific attaché for science and technology here, so for the southeast of the United States. And I'm very happy to see that the French Tech Rally is on now. So I would be very happy to connect with you guys and see what collaborations we can make and push forward. together with the French diplomacy. So happy to connect with you. And I'm also happy to see many familiar faces, especially Eric in Grenoble, that we happen to work on different projects before.
Thank you, Rami. Anyone else questions? I know it's almost apéro time. It's important in France, the apéro. Okay, so I don't want to rush that. Since I live in the US, actually at noon, I'm making a yoga break. Okay, so this is not French at all. But anyway, questions, comments?
No questions here, but can everyone hear me?
Sure, go ahead, Giselle.
Okay, hi guys. Nice to see everyone. Love to see so many familiar faces. And again, congratulations to Alexandra and Mary Claire and everyone who's put together this French Tech. It's absolutely wonderful. And as speaking for Schema Business School, it's wonderful to see this collaboration. I'm just going to share quickly some of the things that I think, you know, Schema can support you all with. Reach out to me at any time for any support that our school and my team can help you guys with. Some of the things that we're doing at Schema that I want to share quickly is, well, first of all, we have lots of space at our school. So if we ever want to do any events, if we ever want to host anything, you know, we've got classrooms, we can do receptions and events. That's wonderful. But something I want to bring to the table is our students, which many of you know, excellent students, mostly French students, and also a lot of international students. And as was mentioned earlier, we were just ranked third worldwide by the Financial Times for the finance program. Our students are doing excellent. Our bachelor's program here in Raleigh started, so we're recruiting a lot of high school students to come to the bachelor's program. I've got Randy Schwal here on the call as well. He heads our mentorship program, which we're always looking for, and I see a few people here that are part of that. Stephanie, I think you're part of that. David, you're part of that. Thank you. We're always looking for mentors for our students to help them with anything, just general conversations, cultural conversations, careers, internships, things like this. Something as well, we offer lots of education programs, and right now I'm working with some companies on developing corporate education programs for small to medium-sized companies. This is something that we're doing on Centennial. I'd love to talk to you about that if there's interest there within your companies. And of course, Schema Ventures is part of the entrepreneurship business unit of Schema that you guys might be familiar with as well. A lot of entrepreneurial students. And I want to welcome again Amaury Jacob, who's actually on your team at the French Tech as well. He is a Schema alumni who graduated when I first started at Schema in international business, and he's there representing Schema on there. So love to see us connected, and reach out to me at any time for anything I can help you with. But I really love this collaboration and happy to connect with you on LinkedIn. One last thing, we formed a Schema Education Foundation. And actually for the French Tech people, I've got 6 foundation members, all alumni across the United States, and I'll put the link in the chat. Please visit the website. You can learn about who they are. They're all Schema alumni. They're all working at big companies around the country, and most of them are connected to French Tech in Boston and Los Angeles. So I love to see that connection as well outside of Raleigh, and I'll leave that link there. But that's my bit, and wonderful to see so many faces, and cannot wait to get together again and enjoy wine and cheese and speaking French. Merci beaucoup.
Mais de rien. Please, anyone else?
Hi there. This is Jerome Savage. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to say it was amazing to hear and see so many people on the call. I'm with AITP, Association of IT Professionals, for the RTP chapter. We kind of service the triangle. We've had, through this whole time with COVID, free monthly tech events. We recently had someone in June who was a CAO, and he talked about his response to COVID and how he got his company basically from 99% work in the office to 100% work from home in 6 weeks. So it was a great presentation. We're going to have a panel of information security, all-female panel from Cisco in July. So I'm going to continue to try to post things to the group. You have a LinkedIn group. I'll try to post our events. They're free, and it gives people a chance to interact with local IT professionals. So I'm just excited I can help in any way. And I was just going to post something in the chat as well, just for reference.
Thanks, Jerome. Okay, this was a really a very nice event. Thank you, everyone. I don't know if we've got any last questions. I know that we've got people from all around the world. We've got Bertrand from Portugal. Thank you, Bertrand, for joining. We've got, of course, people from France, but people from the US, from everywhere. It's really great. Please join us soon in one of our events and enjoy your apéro right now, because it's lunch. It's almost a weekend, so I mean, really, have fun, and longue vie à la French Tech. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Congratulations.